In a heartbreaking revelation that stunned fans, new details have surfaced about the tragic final days of comedy legend Tim Conway. 6 years after his passing, his daughter Kelly Conway has broken her silence, confirming long-whispered rumors about the pain and isolation her father endured before his death. As Tim's health declined, Kelly says she was barred from seeing her own father by his second wife, Charlene Conway, who allegedly refused her visits and even withheld the news of his passing. Kelly's emotional confession sheds light on a private battle hidden behind the laughter of one of television's most beloved comedians. Born Thomas Daniel Conway on December 15, 1933, in Willoughby, Ohio, Tim grew up in the nearby town of Chagrin Falls, where small-town life helped shape his down-to-earth humor. His father, Daniel, an Irish immigrant, worked as a groomer for polo ponies, while his Romanian-American mother, Sophia, filled their home with warmth and laughter. From this blend of Irish wit and Romanian spirit emerged a boy destined to make the world laugh. After studying radio and television at Bowling Green State University, Tim served in the U.S. Army before beginning his career in local Cleveland television, teaming up with friend Ernie Anderson to create quirky skits that showcased his offbeat humor. His big break came when actress Rose Marie discovered him and helped him land a spot on The Steve Allen Show, launching a national career that would span over 6 decades. Tim's fame skyrocketed with his role as Ensign Charles Parker on McHale's Navy in the 1960s, where his innocent charm and slapstick timing won hearts across America. But it was the Carol Burnett Show that turned him into a legend. Joining the cast in 1975, Conway created unforgettable characters like the Oldest Man and Mr. Tudball, whose exaggerated Romanian accent was inspired by his mother. His unpredictable humor often left co-stars Carol Burnett, Vicki Lawrence, and Harvey Korman unable to keep straight faces. He wasn't just funny, he was kind, patient, and naturally gifted at finding laughter in life's simplest moments. Behind the fame, though, Tim's later years grew increasingly painful. Married twice, first to Marianne Dalton, with whom he had 6 children, and later to Charlene Fusco, his wife from 1984 until his death in 2019. Tim's family was torn apart by a bitter legal dispute. As his health declined, Kelly fought for conservatorship, claiming her father wasn't receiving proper care, while Charlene maintained control over his medical treatment. A judge sided with Charlene, leaving Kelly with limited visitation rights. The emotional toll was immense. Kelly says she wasn't even told when her father died. That heartbreak became the core of her memoir, My Dad's Funnier Than Your Dad, a tender and painful reflection on her life with Tim Conway, the father who filled her childhood with laughter, and the man she was cruelly separated from. In the end, Kelly remembers her father as gentle, humble, and endlessly funny. Even after being shut out, she chose to celebrate his memory her own way. After the formal funeral, she and her siblings gathered at one of Tim's favorite pizza places, reminiscing, laughing, and honoring the man who made the world smile. For Kelly, that gathering felt like the real goodbye, a farewell filled with laughter instead of sorrow. Throughout his career, Conway remained a constant source of joy on television. From The Tim Conway Show to family favorites like The Apple Dumpling Gang, The Prize Fighter, and The Private Eyes, he embodied wholesome humor. His pint-sized character Dorf, first introduced in 1986, became a cult classic, proving his timeless comedic instincts. Later, he delighted a new generation as Barnacle Boy on SpongeBob SquarePants, alongside his old friend Ernest Borgnine as Mermaid Man. Even in his 70s, Conway's voice, wit, and warmth made him unforgettable. He won Emmys for guest appearances on Coach and 30 Rock, proving that his magic never faded with age. When Tim Conway passed in 2019, Hollywood mourned deeply. Tributes poured in from Carol Burnett, Bob Newhart, Dick Van Dyke, and countless others who called him one of the greatest comedians who ever lived. But for Kelly, it was more than the loss of a comedy legend. It was the loss of her father, the man who made her laugh until she cried, who taught her that humor could heal almost anything. Today, Kelly lives quietly in Los Angeles, working as a hairstylist and keeping her father's spirit alive through her memories and her book. She often says she wrote her memoir not out of anger, but out of love, to show the world that behind the laughter was a man of immense kindness, humility, and heart. In her words, she had the best childhood ever. Though Tim Conway's final years were shadowed by family pain, his legacy remains one of joy. He may be gone, but his laughter still echoes. A reminder that even in sorrow, there is always room for a smile.